Alright, this should finish up the notes for this section 2.2. I am finishing the example that was started on the previous page, the end of that last video. So let's continue on. We're doing part B now. We're over here. Alright, we want to find the intercepts and we want to test for symmetry. So let's do the x-intercept. We let y equal 0. Okay, y is over here. Minus 4 over 2x. Alright, for a rational expression to equal 0, that means we are concerned only with the numerator. You can either factor that right-hand side or bring the 4 over. Here's the square root. Use square root method. My two intercepts, x-intercepts, positive 2 and negative 2. Alright, let's try the y-intercepts. To find a y-intercept, we let x equals 0. So, again, I'm over here. Alright, so I have y equals a negative 4 on top. Oh, if I let x equal 0, look, I'm dividing by 0. Alright, that's undefined, so there's no y-intercept. Alright, that graph just does not cross the y-axis at all. And that's okay. Alright, actually in this case the y-axis is going to be a big vertical asymptote, but we will learn about that when we graph rational functions. Okay, so we found the intercepts. Let's go ahead and test this thing for symmetry. So let's check the x-axis symmetry. Remember to do that for x-axis, you let y equal negative y and simplify. Alright, so obviously this is pretty simple since my y is over here on the left. It's by itself, so if I plug negative y in here, there's no way that this can look like my original equation. Alright, this y is opposite. The right hand side looks exactly the same, but the left hand side is opposite. So this does not have x-axis symmetry. No x-axis symmetry. Let's try the y-axis. Alright, with y-axis symmetry, remember you replace x with negative x, the opposite of x, over 2 times negative x. Alright, so when we simplify this, watch what happens. If I square a negative x, it's the same thing as x squared, minus 4 is there, and the denominator I just have a negative 2x. Alright, I've simplified all that I can. The other thing I can do is if I brought that up in the numerator, it would switch it around to 4 minus x squared. Either way that you do that, this is not equivalent to that. Again, this is the opposite of what I started with. It's sort of the same as this. So this does not have y-axis symmetry either. Yeah, for y-axis that was a no. For x-axis symmetry that was a no. Let's try origin. Remember, with origin we replace both, so I'll have a negative y over here. I'll have a negative x, and I have to square it, minus 4 over 2 times a negative x. Okay, watch what happens here. I got a negative y. Then here I'll have x squared minus 4, in the denominator I'll have a negative 2x. Now, if I take the opposite of my left-hand side, I'll have y. If I take the opposite of that side, you either take the opposite of the numerator or the opposite of the denominator. So let's negate that denominator. Good, just like that. Now, if I compare this to my original problem, which is circled up here, that is equivalent. So this has origin symmetry. Just like that. Alright, we did all 3 tests. For the x-axis test, it failed. That was a no. For the y-axis test, we failed. It was a no. And for my origin symmetry, we replaced both x and y with negative x, negative y. When I simplified, I did get an original, just like the original equation, that has origin symmetry. Alright, I do have one more example down here. Getting to it, here it is. Alright, clear at the bottom. This says if this point, negative 2 comma b, is a point on the graph of this equation, the question is, okay, what is b? Find out what number b is. So to do that, remember, if I know that this is a point that lies on the graph, then it has to satisfy this. So if I plug negative 2 in for x and b in for y, then I could solve and see what b is. So let's do that. I'll have 2 times my x is negative 2 plus 3 times b is equal to 2. Alright, everything in here I'll be able to solve for b, so this is a negative 4 plus 3b is equal to 2. Let's, what am I going to do? Add 4 to both sides and divide by 3. So b equals 2 in this case. I think you have one sort of similar to this in the homework. So anyway, that's how you do that one.